Ho, ho, ho. So you can see in this video tutorial, I'm gonna teach you how to create a DIY album. We're gonna create the base, we're gonna create the pages, all the interactive details and photo mats. So much fun to be had in this tutorial. And how cute are these papers? You've gotta love these gorgeous colors and then all these festive Santas. So starting off the bat, we are going with a waterfall page, which you know we love. And then that flips up and there's a surprise pocket underneath and another photo mat. I'm gonna turn this over and we've got a surprise double layout page. So a pocket here, another photo mat, another little fun pocket here. And we're really utilizing those cut apart pages with this album. So it really adds a lot to your album, but it's so simple because all you've got to do is cut those out. We've got these great interactive photos mats here that flip up. So I'm thinking December daily, Christmas morning photos, maybe some photos from Christmas past. How are you going to use this album? And then we've got this great decorative gatefold here with two flip tops and another photo mat. And then what you've got to love about this album is that once we get to this point, the next pages just repeat what we just saw. So we've got the waterfall page with the flip top surprise pocket. Turn this over and you've got your double page here. These little cuties with your pocket here and a gatefold. So let us know in the comments below how you intend on using your DIY album. This Letters to Santa Volume 10 album kit, the first come first serve are gonna get these super cute Santa special delivery buttons, the project sheet with step-by-step directions, a bag, and then you're gonna get these 12 by 12s patterned on solid papers, along with the 12 by 12 collection pack that comes with this great sticker sheet and all of these design papers. There's a lot of great cut aparts that we're gonna be using and just so many excellent elements. And then of course for the base, we're gonna be using this Kraft Chipboard Sheets. You get 10 sheets in there and they're a nice medium weight. All right, let's get this DIY album party started. Now, of course, if you are creating along with us with your kit, grab your project sheet. If you're going to use your own supplies, you can go to our website, g45papers.com, and then up to the inspiration tab and down to project sheets. And that's where you can print out this fabulous step-by-step project sheet, along with 30 plus more others as well. So we're going to be creating the cover of this album from Chipboard Sheets. So I've taken our graphic 45 chipboard sheets and I have two of them here, and I've cut out our large front and back covers to be 7 inches by 9 inches. And then we've got our spine that's going to be 2 1/4 by 9 inches. And from your leftovers from that second sheet that you cut this with, we have another piece that we're going to be using later that's going to be 4 1/8 by 6 1/8. Also from your scraps, you're going to want to go ahead and cut out a little piece that's 1/8 of an inch. This we're just going to use as a spacing guide. Mine I cut out of some black chipboard just so you can see it a little bit better through this tutorial. For step 2, we've taken this tan text paper and we've cut it to be 10 1/2 inches by 11 inches. And then we're going to do I'm going to be marking with a pencil 1 inch from the right hand side. So this is 10 1/2 inches. I'm going to mark at 9 1/2. And then also the top and bottom. So just rotate that and 1 inch from the top. Rotate again and 1 inch from the bottom. Now I'm going to take my spine piece and I'm going to adhere it flush on the left hand side, just sitting right on top of my bottom 1 inch score line. Once I like that placement, let's go ahead and burnish that down. And you can use any adhesive that you'd like for this step. I'm using my favorite art glitter glue. And then next we're going to adhere this piece 1/8 of an inch away. So I'm just going to put my little guide in there. Adhere that down and make sure you've got a really good contact. And then we can pull up our little 1/8 of an inch spacer and make sure everything's nice and flat on the outside. Step 3, we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to score along our spine. Taking my scissors and going straight up to where my chipboard spine starts, and then I'm going to take this and just cut it flush with my chipboard edge. And I'll do the same at the top as well. So now your piece should look like this. Step 4, we've taken another sheet of that tan patterns and solids and cut it to 10 5/8 by 11 inches.
Pro tip, for best results, cut it to 10 5/8 by 11.5 inches.
So mark 1 inch from the left-hand side and the top and bottom. Getting a little messy. So on Maria's example, there's a bit of an overhang on that edge. And I personally, because I'm going to be using my album so much throughout the years, don't really want that to get tattered and torn.
For best results, do not follow what I'm about to tell you. Cut yours to 10 5/8 by 11.5 and have the overhang on the back.
I'm going to be cutting my second sheet of this to be a little bit smaller than that 10 5/8 of an inch. So I'm going to cut it actually to be 10 1/4. And so there will be a seam on my spine, but I think that that's going to be more preferable than having this edge that's going to get beat up. So you can choose if you want to go which route you want to go, but that's just going to be my way to do it. So add your adhesive and then adhere your front cover on your lines. So it should be 1 inch from top, bottom, and left. Flip this over, add our little spacer piece, and then we're going to adhere this onto here. So I'm going to just measure this, and you see I have a gap between mine. If you're following along with Maria's instructions, yours should overlap a little bit. So I'm just going to add adhesive to my whole section that's going to be where my spine goes here, and then adhere this down, making sure all your pieces are nice and matching up. And then I'm going to trim all 4 of those corners. I'm going to kind of come in at an angle, making sure I'm leaving about a 1/16 of an inch between my chipboard edge, and then angle it again. So again, come in at an angle, leave a bit of space between your chipboard and your paper, and do the same with all 4. And then take that bone folder and just go around all your edges. And then we're going to take your edges and just fold those over. Just letting the papers do what they naturally want to do when you fold those. And now again, just going to take our bone folder and set those creases. All right, so now let's start to adhere our corners down. So Go ahead, add your adhesive. I like to start from the center, like here, and then start working way out. Knock that corner back a little bit and rotate and keep going. Start in the center and work your way out. Knock that corner in and do your last section. And then clean up any excess. Taking that scrap piece that I cut off, if you just followed Maria's instructions, you don't need to do this step, but I'm going to take that scrap piece I cut off and I cut it down to size, and I'm just going to add it right in here. You can just cut it to be at the top and bottom here, but this seemed easy enough. Score in all those channels where we're going to be bending. Step 7, we've cut 2 pieces of chipboard to be 6 inches by 8 inches and 2 of these green patterns and solids to be 6 by 8 inches as well. Adhere those together. Then we're going to do it all again with 2 chipboard pieces that are 5 5/8 by 7 5/8, and the red patterns and solids with the snowflakes that are also 5 5/8 by 7 5/8. Adhere these down. And then we're going to center and adhere these red snowflakes on top of our green base. These are adding some nice dimension and structure to the front and back cover of our albums, giving it a nice heavy weight. Now we're going to take that leftover chipboard that we put aside for step 8 and this cute Santa from our Holly Jolly Express paper, and we're going to adhere those 2 together. From our Letters to Santa signature page, we're going to do a bit of fussy cutting. So from this bottom right, we're going to fussy cut out Have a Holly Jolly Christmas, and then Santa's Special Delivery Countdown, these 2 postcards to Santa, and this North Pole circle, and this December 25th circle. Adhere your Santa down on your front cover piece. So now we're going to take our cover that we've created and adhere our 2 big mats on the front and back. Let's start adhering our fussy cut pieces out. So I'm going to add this calendar piece to our spine. So I'm going to put my spine up just so I can see where my edges are. I added some foam adhesive to the back, and I'm just going to adhere this down. Taking these 2 squares from your sticker sheet that come in your collection pack, we're going to decorate the top and bottom. So arrange your pieces how you'd like them, and then we can start adhering things down. So I've added a double layer of foam adhesive to my Holly Jolly, and this is just going to go right here on the top. I'm going to start by adhering my postcards. And then while that adhesive's still wet, I'm going to slide in my stamps underneath. And my circles over on the other side to balance everything out. So there you have it. We have finished our front cover, and it's looking so festive and fun. Step 10, we're going to open this up, and then we're going to cut out 2 pieces of Season's Greetings. Both of these pieces are going to be the same dimensions that are 8 1/4 by 8 1/2, and then we're going to adhere. So I started with my right, and I have equal borders on top and to the side and the bottom. I'm gonna work my way burnishing down all those air pockets and holes, and then don't forget to score your channel where your back is gonna fold up. So just go ahead, score, and work out those air pockets. And now let's do the same with the left-hand side. Just making sure that everything's matching up. And just keep smoothing things out and scoring in your channels until you've air pocket free and everything is looking good. Step 12, we have our second sheet of our red snowflake paper, and this has been cut to be 4.5 by 8.5. And on the 4.5 inch side, we are going to score this at 1/2 inch sections, so every 1/2 inch. So after we're done scoring, we want to go ahead and crease on all those lines. You can do it however you'd like. If you want to go accordion style, we just want those to be nice and creased. I've already done it, which is why it went so easily for me. But once you have it at this point, now we're going to start to do some thoughtful folds. So going from the left, this is section 1, section 2, and now we want 3 and 4 to be a mountain fold. We want 5 to be down, and then 6 and 7 to be a mountain fold. And our first and our last will also fold up. So at this point, they should look like this, and I'm just going to adhere these two channels together. Adhere those channels together and then wipe away any excess. So we've got our album back into play. We have our hinge piece that we've created. So you want to make sure that your first and last are also up, because these are also going to be what we're going to be putting our pages on. And then we're going to add adhesive to these 3 back pieces here. Add your adhesive, and then this is going to go in the center of our spine here. So while this is drying, let's create this fun little photo mat that we have here. So we've got a little flip over here and it opens there. So to do that, we're going to take out our holiday cheer paper, and we've cut out 2 of the stripe side, and these are 5.5 by 6 3/4. And then we've taken 2 of these red papers from our patterns and solids and cut these to be 6 inches by 7 1/4. And then with our stripe papers, we're going to score these at 1/2 inch on the 5.5 inch side on both of those. Crease on that score line and add adhesive, and then these are just going to center on your red solid side. So we're starting to make our fun little photo mats. These ones are oversized, so they're going to be great for adding in a lot of photos. Take these 4 green circle stickers, and these are going to be our little pull tabs for our photo mat, and just center them and then match up the back with another sticker. From Sweet Treats, we're going to cut out these 2 Santa images, and then we're just going to score from the top at 1/2 inch. So just putting the top in on the 4 inch side and just going to score this at 1/2 inch. Fold back and add adhesive to that 1/2 inch section, and then we're going to adhere these in the center just a little bit towards the top on our photo mat. From the leftover green patterns and solids text paper, we've cut 2 squares to be 2 inches by 2 inches, and then just cut those in half diagonally. These green triangles are going to turn into cute little tuck spots for our photo mats. So to do that, it's easy peasy. Just take your adhesive and put those on the outside edges of your triangle and add those to the top of your red text paper. Go ahead and let those dry, and once they're dry, you can see this just sticks in beautifully. Next, we're creating this waterfall element. So we've taken Naughty or Nice and cut 2 of them to be 6 inches by 4 inches. The same with this green text, 6 by 4. And then from Sweet Treats, we've taken this 6 by 4 image of Santa's special delivery. And then we've rounded the bottom 2 corners on all of those pieces. And then we're going to score all of these on the 4-inch side on the top at 1/2 inch. So where our corners are not rounded. And then go ahead and crease on all those score lines. And then we're going to score at 6 1/4 with our bottom being at the bottom. Fold on that crease, and then we're going to just take a circle punch, and on our smaller section with the tan side up, you're just going to pop 1/2 of a hole on the right hand side in the center. So it should fold over and be longer on the top. Add your adhesive to our 1/2 inch score line, and we're going to start with our Santa at the top, just flush with the top and sides of our snowflake piece. Again, when you flip this open, you're going to have the smaller tan piece with your circle notch. Now I'm going to just work my way down, so I'm going to have my green up next. And this is just going to go flush underneath. Next, I'm going to have Naughty or Nice. And just repeat until you're done. So now your waterfall piece should look like this. And then attach one tag sticker on one side and another on the other side, so indicating to flip this up. For step 18, we're taking our red snowflake paper, and we've cut this to be 6 3/4 by 8 1/2. Add your adhesive in a U shape on our pocket section of our waterfall folio, and this is going to go a little heavy towards the bottom, making sure my sticker is still going to stay on my page and that my sides are even. Add some foam adhesive to the back of this Merry Christmas sticker, and this is just going to pop right up in the center. Step 19, we're going to cut a piece of chipboard to be 6 1/4 by 8 1/2. Add adhesive to the chipboard piece, and then adhere your red snowflake waterfall element on top. And flip this over to burnish this down, and then you should have about 1/2 inch left over now on the flipped over side on the right. So when I flip this back over, the right hand side is flush with the chipboard as well as the top and bottom, and there is this here. Step 20, we're going to take our leftover paper from Holiday Cheer and cut out 2 squares that are going to be 4 3/8 by 4 3/8. And from our red text patterns and solids, we're going to cut it to be 4 3/4 by 4 3/4. Then we're going to score that Holiday Cheer paper at 1/2 inch on both of those. So adhere your Holiday Cheer on top of your red squares, and then we're going to add our little pull tabs. So I've got tickets on one, and then I'm going to do these cute little rectangle Santas on the other. So just taking 2 matching sticker shapes, and ta-da, you've got a cute little photo tab. adhere this underneath your waterfall here. And we'll save the other one for later. Cut out these two cut aparts, and then we're gonna save the second one for our second waterfall and tuck in our letters to Santa underneath here. So to adhere our first page into our hinge system, I'm gonna add adhesive on our first hinge, like so. And then I'm gonna take this 1/2 inch area there and match these two up, making sure they're flush with the top and bottom. Once you've got a good connection, go ahead and make sure you're burnishing that all the way down and getting up any excess. And you want to make sure that this page is going to fold back and forth without any problem. For step 22, we've got our green patterns and solids with the stripes. And we've got 2 pieces to be 5 inches by 7 inches and 2 to be 5 by 5. And then we're going to take our letters to Santa B sides, and we're going to cut these to be 4.5 by 6.5 and 4.5 by 4.5. Now, if you want to make these interactive, you can go ahead and score these 1/2 inch from the top. But you want to keep in mind that there is a pattern on the back side. So if you do that, you want to make sure that when you're flipping it up, that the pattern's going to be right side up. So go ahead and adhere those down. And then on our first 2 photo mats, we're going to add these special delivery file tabs on our big one. And our square one, we've just added our Santa. Cut out these 4 cut aparts from Sweet Treats. Add 2 tag stickers to this Holly Jolly. And you're going to grab your North Pole postage, and we're going to cut out 2 pieces that are going to be 3.5 by 8.5. We're going to take Dear Old Santa Claus that's been cut to 11 3/4 by 12 inches. And then we're going to score this on the 11 3/4 side, 5 1/4. And then I'm going to turn this so the bottom of my paper is at 0, and I'm going to score this at 3.5. Go ahead and crease on all those score lines. And then we're going to cut out this. With your leftover piece, we're going to add adhesive on the back side of our Santa stamp from this signature sheet, and just adhere this like a little pull tab on the left-hand side. So now we're going to adhere our little pocket shut. So this is just going to be a sneaky double page. So I'm just going to take my adhesive and add that onto the sides. From Holly Jolly Express, we've cut out this border and cut it to be 6.5 inches, and then adhered it to the top of our pocket. Decorate with this Santa sticker tag. So next we're going to flip this over, and we're going to start to adhere some of these pieces down. Adhere this in a U shape, and our opening will be at the top. Now look through both your piles, and we're going to find these 2 cut aparts and then our leftover that we dolled up. And we're going to take this wonderful cut apart, and it's just going to tuck right in the top here. So now we're going to take this double page we're working on, and we're going to adhere it to our chipboard sheet here. So I'm just adding my adhesive to my Santas. And this is going to be flush with that page on the left-hand side and the top and bottom. Once you like your placement, take your bone folder and burnish that down. Add your adhesive in a U shape on the back of our stamped paper, and this is going to go flush with just about a 1/16 inch higher than where our hinge ends, and adhere this down like a pocket. Always making sure you can open and close your page. Then we're going to tuck these 2 cuties into the pocket. And then take these 3 inserts, and these are going to go in our big outside pocket here. So many places for adding your photos and making this album so special. Step 28, we've got 2 season's greeting papers here cut to 11 by 3.5 and 2 Holly Jolly Express that are cut to 5 by 3 inches. And then we're going to take these long season's greeting papers and we're just going to fold those in half. Of course, you could score in half at 5.5 inches. And open these up. And then we'll adhere these on the inside. And then add your stickers. So for step 29, we've got our tan snowflake patterns and solids. And we've got 2 of those cut out to be 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. And then we've got this big one that's 5 3/4 by 7 inches. And from Holly Jolly Express, we have these 2 green sled borders that are 5 3/4. And then we're going to take these 2 pieces and put them on the 4 1/4 inch side and score at 1/2 inch. Step 30, we've got another piece of chipboard that's 6 1/4 by 8.5. And then we've taken the scrap piece of the green and we've cut it to 2 inches by 6 inches. 31, we're taking Holly Jolly Express that's been cut to 6 3/4 by 8.5. And then we took our circle punch and just half notched out a circle in the center on the right hand side. Add adhesive to the top and bottom, and this stripe paper is going to be flush with our right hand side and the top and bottom. So we should have a nice 1/2 inch gap. Adhere your sled strips on top of our scored section. Now I'm going to take this little photo mat we made earlier. I've added adhesive just on that 1/2 inch strip. And I'm going to have this flush with the bottom of our paper. And I want to make sure it doesn't go into our notched area here. I'm going to do the same with the second, but this time it's going to be flush with the top of our chipboard page. Next, we're going to adhere our little fold out photo mats to the top of our golden flip top papers. So we've got fun folds going all directions. So now we can adhere this onto our second spine here. So just like we did before, I'm just going to add the adhesive to our spine. Match up our spine and pull it up to meet our paper. Making sure it's all going to open and close beautifully. Step 32, we've cut 2 green gingham papers to be 5.5 by 6 7/8 and 2 Holly Jolly Express borders to be 5.5. And we have this cute little Santa from our signature page. If you want to make these pages interactive, just go ahead and score 1/2 inch from the top and crease on that score line. Next, we're just going to take those borders and I'm just going to adhere in a U shape and adhere this flush with the bottom of our gingham. That way, if I want to use the bottom as a little tug spot to tuck in something, I can, but if I don't, no one will be the wiser. Pop him onto our photo mat. It's nice to leave him up too, because even if I adhere a photo onto here rather than using this as a pocket, then I can put my photo in and then adhere this around my photo. Adhere this onto our photo mat that we cut earlier, and then this is just going to slide right into our side pocket. Step 33, we've got our gingham sheet number 2, and we have 2 pieces that are 2.5 by 7.5 inches. And then we've got another piece that's 6 3/4 by 8.5. And from Sweet Treats, we've cut out this little workshop piece that's 3 by 4 inches. Score these at 1/2 inch from the top. Add adhesive to the center of your Santa's workshop, and that's just going to go in the center of one of our green gingham strips. Our second one, we're going to put this letters to Santa tag, and we're going to have this down towards the bottom. With Holly Jolly Express, we've cut out 2 of these to be 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. And then we're going to take this red text from our patterns and solids, and we've cut this to be 12 inches by 8.5. And on the 12-inch side, we're going to score this at 3 inches and 9 inches. Crease on the score line. And now we're going to adhere one of these in here. So in the instructions, it says that you can score at 1/2 inch and then use this as a fold open. But since it's a busy cut apart paper, I think I'm just going to do a U-shaped pocket instead. So you can choose how you want to do that. So add your adhesive in a U shape. I'm going to leave some space for a sticker at the bottom and make sure this is in the center of our center panel. And then we're going to decorate the inside. So we've got our border sticker that's been trimmed to 5 1/4, this big sticker here, and then our little flip tops. Adhering both those in, making sure that we can still close our gatefold up. Take that large gingham piece we have from earlier, and this is just going to adhere right in the center, flush with the top and bottom. From Sweet Treats, we've cut out this piece that's 6 by 4, and from Letters to Santa, this little green stamp, and Holly Jolly Express, we've cut out this small little Santa. So I've added adhesive onto the back, just about 1/2 of this, measuring, making sure I don't go over my edge, and that I can still open my gatefold without this causing any problems. And then we're going to just collage on these extra pieces. So now we have this decorative collage, and this gatefold opens up with so many fun surprises. Now we're going to adhere this whole thing on the back of our page 3, making sure we're flush with all of our edges. Now the best part is, if you've made it this far, all the steps just repeat itself. So you can do this by your own and just by following that project sheet. So we're going to do another waterfall page set up just like we did before. So we've got all those waterfall elements here, and then this is going to flip up and it will unveil our fun little photo mat here with a tuck spot. This folds back down. We've got our popped up sticker there. And on this page, it's that fun double fold page. So in our pocket, we have our little Letters to Santa piece that we created earlier. This time we're just adding the dashing through the snow stickers on the top. And then we've taken these two cut apart journaling papers, and those are just going to tuck right in there. The pocket has a cute little Merry Christmas stamp and this great border. And then open this up. We've already created this photo mat here, so just adhere that in a U shape again and tuck in Santa's Workshop. Add your Jingle All the Way sticker on the bottom. And in your side loading pocket that we cut already, just adhere that down and add these two fun pieces. Next, we've got our flip over and flip top pages. So you can see we've got those cute little stickers there. These Santa border pieces from the border paper, and then these flip open where we've got some of that red stripe. So cute. And then in this side loading pocket, that's where we've got our other gingham piece that we created, and this time it's just going to be backed on this red piece. So this slides into the side loading pocket. And our last page here is our gatefold. So we've got our Santa's Workshop here, a stamp, and this opens up for our flip top little skinny panels. And this fold over if you'd like, or how we did it before, the U-shaped pocket, along with two more stickers. And then we're just going to slide that last photo mat in here in the back. And there you have it. We hope that you enjoyed creating this tutorial along with us today. We love to see your projects, so go ahead and share those on our Graphic 45 official community page on Facebook or on Instagram by tagging Graphic 45. And if you're looking for more fun tutorials like this one, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and then hit that notification bell so you know whenever we post a new fun and fabulous tutorial. We thank you so much for joining us, and as always, happy paper crafting.